Hello YouTube, it's me again, and I want to talk about the situation that black men find themselves in the Western Hemisphere. There's a lot of frustration. If you go to YouTube and check out many of the black empowerment channels, the Red Pill Brother channels, if you go to different forums, or if you just talk to brothers on the street, it's apparent that black men are extremely frustrated. And we're all looking for a solution in different ways. But the one thing that we're not doing is we are not seeking out core knowledge about ourselves, our situation, how we got here, and what we're actually facing. There are a lot of us who think that we can be friends with white people, that white people are not our enemies. But time after time after time, life has demonstrated that that is not true. Oh, you can serve white people and they will be friendly to you. And they will give you the things that they want you to have for serving them. But serving them is the problem. That is what we've been doing for the last 397 years in America. In order to serve ourselves, we have to gain a true understanding of ourselves, who we are. How did we get here? Who are our real enemies? Now I'm just gonna say a few things. If you take the perspective that we are an amalgamation of different tribes from Africa, you're gonna have some serious problems. I mean, just deal with the many different issues that does. One, that means that genetically, we don't have any reason to amalgamate, to cooperate. We are different. It also means that we were gathered by our people and kicked out of our homelands. And what was the reason for that? Well, if they are the same as we are, they must have perceived us as inferior. They must have perceived us as being unworthy, and thus they were pruning their tribal bush, and they shipped us off to the Western Hemisphere and elsewhere. So I don't take that perspective. I take the perspective that we are the children of Jacob. We resided in Africa. We were gathered because we were outshining them. We were the ones who built the walled cities. We're the ones who created Timbuktu. We're the ones who brought a different skill set to the New World. And it makes sense, right? Because if you go back in history, the children of Jacob were masters at metalwork, metallurgy. That was something that we did very, very well. And what skills did they need in the New World in order to build the New World? Well, they needed masons. We are the people who built the walled cities. So they needed masons. We were skilled masons. They needed metallurgists. We were skilled metallurgists. They needed carpenters. We were carpenters. So we had all the skills that they needed. That's part of the legacy of being from the tribe of Israel. So they brought us over here to use our skills. See, that makes sense. And I don't care where you're coming from. I don't care if you're an agnostic, an atheist, whatever. A Muslim, doesn't really matter. The issue is, what's our ethnic identity? I tell you that even if you're not thoroughly convinced, it beats all the other options, because accepting being a child of Israel puts us under a single banner. And that's one of the major obstacles that we have. We are not united. So let's get united. We'll work out the theological stuff later. Those of us that have it, we can offer it. And those of us who do not quite believe, take what we give you in Scripture as information coming from our historical records and our chronicles. And just pay attention to the information from that perspective. And if you develop a spiritual understanding over time, great. If not, that's okay. The lessons to be had have value. So that's the first thing we have to do. Now, the second thing we have to do is we have to gain knowledge. We have to explore knowledge. We have to understand mathematics, language, history, anthropology. We have to understand political dialectics. And if we do those things, if we each individually become sharp and smart around these things, when we get together, we'll be able, since we now understand we are from same collective, we don't have to fight each other when we disagree. We can disagree and use a logical, methodical approach to making our point, and we can be men about not being correct and say such and move forward as a result of that. Those are some of the things we can do. What I'm saying is, look, if you're a Muslim and your allegiance is to Allah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I'm gonna tell you, well, your allegiance is misaligned, but that's my thing. I'm not gonna let that get in the way of cooperating with you. You're still, as far as I'm concerned, highly likely to be from the tribe of Jacob. And if that's the case, then you're my brother, and I'm gonna work with you. Period. Period. If you're an atheist, I don't agree with that, but I don't disagree with you as a man. I see you as my brother, probably from the tribe of Jacob, the tribe of Israel, and your experience in America has dulled your spiritual senses, has caused you to doubt the veracity of a spiritual approach to solving our problems. And I get that, I understand it. I don't think there's a single brother out here who has not gone through periods of doubt, who has not declared at some point that they don't believe, just because our situation's so screwed up. So we can all get in the same room and we can cooperate. What we can't do is, see, the reason I like YouTube is I can say my religious stuff, and you just look at my videos, and my religious stuff, it attracts a certain number of people, and there's a certain number of people that stay away from it, and that's okay with me. The people who are curious, they go to it, and the people who are not, stay away from it. And when I have a universal topic, I get everybody who knows about me and wants to hear what I have to say come to that particular video. And that's cool, and that's why I like YouTube, okay? And we kind of have to treat our personal beliefs like we treat YouTube. When we're there to talk about a particular set of business issues, social issues, political issues, that's what we're there to talk about, not the stuff that is personal, okay? So the knowledge thing is real important. Now I'm gonna quote some scripture. Like I said, just use it as a book of our chronicles and history from our wise elders. Okay? In that book, it is referenced that we are in the situation that we are in now because of a lack of knowledge. Okay? And I don't think there's a person out there in our community who can argue against that. A lack of knowledge is exactly why we're in this situation. We don't know who our enemies are. We sometimes confuse ourselves into believing that we can be a part of this country. Oh yeah, we can be a part of this. Oh no, all white people aren't bad. No, we're their enemies, they're our enemies. If you have not noticed that of all the people that walk this earth, that they have a special enmity towards us. If you have not noticed that, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, where are you? They have a special hatred for us. And they have perfected that hatred. In the past, they made ritual out of murdering us. They would put on their Ku Klux Klan outfits or whatever, and they would gather together in large groups, and they would hang us and burn us, dance and sing and eat food and celebrate and cut off our body parts. Well, they've gotten very efficient now. They don't do that. What they do is, oh, you Mike Brown? Oh, I don't like you. Boom, they shoot you. You Trayvon Martin? Oh, what are you doing here? Boom, they shoot you. They are efficient now, okay? They kill us just the same, but they don't go through the fanfare, okay? And the reason they don't have to is because the fanfare, their witchcraft, is on television, it's on the radio, and it's in our music, okay? It's already being celebrated and socialized. It's everywhere in the society. The television, the radio, iTunes, Android phones, all of that stuff has made it possible for them to do the celebration, YouTube, hell, without all getting together physically and do the celebration. All they got to do is go to YouTube and look at a video of us being oppressed, killed, shot, beaten, and they can do their celebration right then and there, okay? So just because it's not in front of your face and I don't have pictures of them in robes doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's happening, okay? It's going on. So we have got to become knowledgeable. We have got to stop living in illusions. Now, I'm going to say something about one issue that I've done many videos on and have gotten a lot of consensus on. Okay, we talk about the state of black women in America. And I've advocated leaving them alone, and I still do. But I don't advocate going after women outside of our race. And the reason I don't is because I do not want our race diluted and destroyed. There are plenty of women from the tribe of Jacob in Africa and in Brazil. And we should go to those places if we have to find those that we love, want to love, want to build with, want to raise families with, create families with, okay? So we should not abandon black women. We should abandon the ignorant whores that occupy the shores of the United States, okay? And I say that because I've gone to the chronicle of our elders and our Elohim, whether you accept them or not. And it's pretty clear that we are not to walk away from women of our race. Because if we do, we will lose our identity. And there have been numerous instances, circumstances where we've done that, and our children grew up speaking another language. And that's a great example of how one loses themselves, right? So, fellow black men, we have got to tighten up our knowledge and wisdom, our personal knowledge and wisdom, so that when we come together in small groups, large groups, we get things done. No more million man marches where we go and we listen to a bunch of tired people giving us tired messages. Okay? Next time a million black men get together, we need to accomplish something. Okay? Quite frankly, I don't think we ever have to have a million black men come together ever again. I think we can accomplish it in groups of 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s. And we need to have those groups connect with other groups so that they know what we're doing and so that we can share the benefits of our efforts with each other. But we have to get wise. We got to stop living in la la land, okay? We got to stop believing that our enemies are our friends and that this is going to be ours and one day there's just going to be one America. No. They're trying to destroy us. You know, they came after the black woman and they encouraged her to behave in a certain way, and they knew that we would react to it, and that would lead to the wholesale diffusion of our race. They would go off to the white men, or they would be abandoned altogether, and we would go off and they would sacrifice some of their daughters, and the daughters of the Spanish and the daughters of the Asians, and when it's all said and done 200 years from now, there won't be a single black man in America, okay? And that's just one of their options. The other option is when the dollar collapses, they get us all together and they just kill us, okay? So keep that in mind too. But anyway, give me your feedback on what I just said. You know I care what you say. You know I want to know what you think. Please tell me. Share this video if you like it.